This is the Eclectic Discussion Podcast.
Is your mom there?
No, I'm home alone.
Well, you won a prize. What's your address?
42 Oak Street. Hey, Roblox, some stranger's bringing me a prize.
A stranger, huh? All he wanted to bring you was trouble. Remember, never tell anyone you're home alone and never give anyone your address.
I'll say Mom can't come to the phone.
Smart thinking.
Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!
What's up, everybody? EDP. Look, I'm a huge fan of G.I. Joe. Grew up playing with G.I. Joe. Probably my favorite cartoon series. G.I. Joe, the Real American Hero, not the other stuff after that. We're not doing that. But, so back when I had the blog on the website, did like G.I. Joe Random Thoughts. And for people that watched Real American Hero and had the figures, had the toys and the vehicles and stuff, you can appreciate them. So, here's the Random Thoughts. During battles, Cobra and Joes had conversations from vehicle to vehicle. No, like, they didn't talk that loud, but the Cobra be flying by, and he'll say, "Oh, you can't stop this, G.I. Joe," and then the G.I. Joe will like, "Oh, that's what you think." How'd you hear that? You're in a plane. I'm just, all right. It seems like all the G.I. Joes respond to any Cobra anything. They just coordinate a double mission on the opposite end of the planet. They're there. Just saying. Why are all the Joes and Cobras, why they're always in uniform? They're playing basketball, they're on vacation, they're dancing, same uniform. Like, why you got grenades on the basketball court? What are we up to? It's just weird. How did Cobra know the Joe's code names and real names? Like, they just knew. It was like it was a Facebook group, or the Joes was on LinkedIn, but they sure enough knew the code name. How do you know the code names? But where were the civilians or the news crews or the firefighters during anything ever? I mean, Cobra's taking over the world. There's laser fights all over the place. There's never any police. There's never any fire. Everything's blowing up. There's planes falling out of the sky. There's never a news copter. It's nothing. That was always a thing that I wanted. They did a lot of branding. Like the Cobra and Joe sent all of their vehicles, like the Etsy cafe, like everything had the Cobra, the G.I. Joe said. At what point did they just like, all right, now we got 50 new planes in. All right, well, get them to the logo guy. Which is, that was also a thing. Beachhead always walked around like that. if look up Beachhead G.I. Joe and look what he always wore. He just walked around like that all the time. It had to be hot. G.I. Joe had that big ass gun on the top of their base, and next to never used it. Like, what was the purpose? One, the base was like secret. You weren't even supposed to know where it was. So really having the big ass gun was useless. And then when Cobra came, they never shot out of it. They'd all run out and shoot with the lake. It was irrelevant. And clearly there were no firing ranges on either base, because no one can shoot. It's so many lasers, it's just blue and red, and almost no one gets hit. I know you because of kids and TV, so they had to do like robots, the bats and everything. But it was just ridiculous. No one ever got hit. Why didn't Cobra sign Corporal Kirshner? They had Sergeant Slaughter over there. They should have. I think Lowlight had a pretty damn heavy backstory for a kid's show. low light for a kid show. If you go back and look up what the low light G.I. Joe backstory was, and you gotta understand this thing was marketed to kids. So like he was afraid of the dark, and he was afraid of animals and loud noises, and then he was with his father when they were hunting, and then he lost his way, and then he was found like a month later with a flashlight and a rifle. And they said nothing about his father no more. I mean, I don't. Just G.I. Joe, man. It's for the kids. The Joes get their planes blown up and always parachute out. Now you would think they get picked off by some of those errant lasers on the parachute. Serpentor was an awful leader. We're Team Cobra Commander here forever. You think that G.I. Joe would have asked Hogan? They would ask for Hogan instead of Sergeant Slaughter. You see? Or maybe Coco Beware, then Polly could play with Frankie. Some deep cuts right there. If you don't know what I'm talking about. Cobra always knows the Joes are coming, and are always waiting to surprise them, but always misses the shots. There's no Cobra snipers. Like, they know they're coming. They set them up to come. Here they come. No one gets hit. Makes no sense. Hulk was whack. Flint was better. Sometimes Serpentor's snakes were real, and sometimes they weren't. The best time they were is when dude got stabbed with them. Oh, boy, love that. They should have shown the missions that Cobra does not get their money. Like, sometimes they just didn't get the money. They should have showed those. And shouldn't the news media cover how Cobra just created a grown-ass man from scratch? So they created Serpentor with some crazy technology, and nobody could just I mean, G.I. Joe knew they were doing it, and they were just, it's not groundbreaking or anything. That's cool. There was an episode where Cobra used guns to shoot transmitters on the back of the Joe's necks. They had little transmitters, so it was, shooting them like on the back of the neck. One, they had free shots at the Joes and chose to use transmitters. Two, they had excellent marksmanship all of a sudden to shoot them. And three, kill them. Kill the Joes. What are we doing? Anyway, Roadblock, speaking in rhyme, had nothing to do with him being black, I'm sure. Even in Pain, he rhymed. That was the thing. Cobra leads the league in capturing their enemy and letting them go. They have free shots on them. Don't kill them. They capture them. Lock them up. Don't kill them. Just talk to them. Just, that's just a thing, I suppose. Lastly, no one ever questioned Dr. Mindbender's uniform. This was his battle uniform was a cape, purple tights, gray tidy whities, metal suspenders, no shirt, boots, purple leather bracelets, and a monocle. I was like, yep, all right, man, grab your gun and go, man. But I loved it. G.I. Joe was great. But look, that's what I have. I appreciate you guys listening to Ramblings. I'll do these again. I could do G.I. Joe and Transformers all day. Talking about how crazy the stuff that we grew up watching was. But in the meantime, in between time, appreciation. Cobra.